Yo, what's happening everybody, King GBL here and welcome back to a brand new Go Battle video. Today I'm going to be showcasing a really strong team in the Great Lake featuring Diggersby. Diggersby is one of them anti-meta Pokemon where if you get it lined up on the opponent's Steel type, you can eat multiple Earthquakes and it is just a real core breaker. In fact, this entire team is a core breaker. We're running this with Defense Deoxys in the front to deal with any Medichams and any potential things that could be a little bit strong against our backline. We've got Dunsparce on the safe swap, which can hit Lanturns, Flyers. It's just a super core breaker Pokemon. And of course Diggersby in the closing position here. Our goal here is to line up Diggersby with whatever is in the back and try to get it onto a Steel type. In that case, this thing can absolutely destroy the meta, and overall this team configuration worked out really well. I have to do a little shout out to Nerds Rising. Originally when I first showcased Diggersby, I was running it with Noctowl, Diggersby and Galarian Stunfisk in the back. I wanted to try out a different team, so I was trying Frostlass in the lead, and I noticed in one of his videos he was running a Defense Deoxys with Double Will and Diggersby in the back. I unfortunately don't have Double Will, so I decided to run this with Dunsparce and Defense Deoxys. I want to give him some credit for this team because Defense Deoxys worked extremely well, and even if you do run into things like Noctowls, even if they land a Shadow Ball, they can take you out. You can go for Thunderbolt to threaten a lot of damage, and at that point you can get shield advantage and go into Dunsparce. So I really like this team, and shout out to him, he's got a really good channel over there as well. But with all that being said, let's hop into the battles here. If you've not yet subscribed and you have been watching the videos, quickly do that now. Thank you very much everybody, we're just over 1500 subs here. Help me get up to 2000 here quite soon. And I'm going to try to set a like goal into this video. Let's go for 100 likes in the video. All likes and comments help an absolute ton, and thank you everybody who does so. So there are a couple of things we do need to talk about with this team. So with the Medicham, basically what you want to do is land a Thunderbolt and then go for back-to-back Psycho Boosts, and at that point it'll be enough to take it out. If the opponent goes for 2 shields, it can get a little bit awkward. We're going to take this match pretty easily. Dunsparce is an amazing Pokemon. Think about everything it hits all the Flyers, it hits Lanturns. It just basically is such a core breaking Pokemon. It hits all the Steel types, like it's just an amazing safe swap here. One little thing I want to mention here about Diggersby. So I actually got this whenever I was like level 35, and this is before XL Candy was available to level 30s. So I'm running a Hundo Diggersby, which I do not recommend. The hilarious thing is you can actually beat Frostlass in the zeros with a Hundo Diggersby. As you can see, we're just eating the Shadow Ball. And again, Jellicent is a bit of a core breaker here. I maybe should consider swapping into one of my back Pokemon a little bit faster here. Yeah, I think in this match, that's what I needed to do. What I decided to do was eat the Shadow Ball because, you know, it's a pretty bulky Pokemon, and just come in with Dunsparce. But because it's so bulky, it's kind of hard to flip switch with Dunsparce on this thing. So maybe that was not the correct play. I decided I wanted to get a shield advantage and then swap out. But you do sort of need to keep Deoxys because, of course, they have a Ghost in the lead, and you might need your Deoxys for something in the back. Of course, we have double normal in this team, so we can resist these Ghost attacks. Can't really come in with Diggersby because, of course, Surfs would add up. So the opponent's staying in here, so I'm like, oh no, have I sort of made a mistake here? The opponent might be a little bit core broken by Dunsparce, and they do come in with a Azumarill. So overall, this is just a really awkward team. Of course, we would want our Deoxys on this thing, but we've kind of let it get low health, so maybe should have just safe swapped straight away. But yeah, with Diggersby, especially because we had an event recently with all of the Bunnelby, you should definitely consider not using like a Hundo. Mine's a level 40. I would say at the very least get a level 45 and maybe best buddy it or something. You definitely want those extra levels on it because it just allows you to survive moves a lot better. You're going to see a match later on with Trevenant where in general Diggersby, you know, you can eat 2 Seed Bombs off a Trevenant, but it gets a little bit less comfortable and it's harder to get off the third Fire Punch whenever the opponent is doing, you know, a little bit more damage with the Shadow Claw. We just Earthquake the Sableye, and we're not even going to let it get to a return here. We're just going to fire off the Fire Punch. The opponent are basically forced to shield. We're going to go for the back-to-back here. The opponent does not throw, so the opponent's kind of messing up here. I guess they would need a return to do significant damage. And guys, we've been hard countered left, right, and center. Can we get to the Earthquake? We just about don't. Is this going to be the Hydro Pump or the Ice Beam though? It is the Hydro Pump. So look, in that game we got hard countered in the lead with Jellicent. We didn't really have a good match on the swap. Azumarill was a bit of a core breaker for the Diggersby in the back. So just overall, like, it was just not great. And it only came down to 1 turn there. So literally 1 turn of difference would have won that match for us. So just that's what I really liked about this team. You know, it just goes to show, like, again, here's a match with Medicham. Not a good match, but we're able to make this close with these drill runs. And I just found this team to be really consistent. But anyway, like I said, just to close off on the Diggersby thing, definitely make it XL if you have those candies available. This Pokemon can be a good core breaker. Unfortunately, we don't get off the move there, but we're going to come in with DD here at this point. And we can soak up all of this energy and most likely go for a Thunderbolt. Yeah, we're trying to farm up to basically 100 energy. These Ice Punches are not going to do too much. And yeah, we can just basically Thunderbolt this thing out of here at this point, and just hope for a good matchup here. We get that out of there, and in comes Umbreon again. So the opponent goes straight for the move. I do have to shield this up, unfortunately, and I think we'll probably make a play into Diggersby at this point, catching the second foul play. So I just really have to hope for a Steel type in the back. We'll see what the opponent comes in with. They come in with a Charm N9, so this is a little bit awkward. We try to throw in good timing here to get off as many fire punches as possible. And again, guys, this is where the XLs will make a huge difference. This thing is chunking us down a lot, and I'm like, bro, like I sort of have to shield this. Unfortunately, we're gonna throw after one again and try to get off the third fire punch on this thing. But I think, guys, just unfortunately, not having this XL, yeah, we reach the punch, but we just don't quite get it off. So that's really the big difference there. So I know that there was definitely like at least 2 or 3 matches. So I, in my first couple of sets, went 7 out of 10 with this thing. I know I definitely could have won 1 or 2 more matches had it not been for my IVs. We're going to farm up here to 10 to try and throw in good timing. We're just going to let this go. It is just a Weather Ball. And we're going to fire off a Thunderbolt to try to get a shield advantage off the opponent. And I might even fire off both moves here, just to basically double shield and or get 2 shields off the opponent and just come in with Dunsparce. I'm thinking, like, you know, even if they do have something bad in the back, like Dunsparce and Diggersby with 2 shields should be able to take just about anything. I think I let this Weather Ball go. This is going to put in a decent little chip to the Dunsparce, but we're going for the overfarm here, and we're going to get off a Rock Slide just before they reach the next move. Yep, that takes out the opponent, and in comes Medi. So, like, again, look, this is not easy, but the thing is, like, we can just spam off these. I'm actually just swapping straight out to Diggersby with 2 shields. The opponent can go for an Ice Punch, which would definitely put a little chip into the Diggersby boy, but Big Bunny, like, he can eat moves, which is nice. We're going to go for the Earthquake, and I think this is not quite going to take out. Look, if they have a Noctowl in the back, we just lose anyway. So at this point, I'm thinking, like, this might be the hardest hitting move in the game. They probably would have swapped out already if it was something that we cannot beat. So we're just going to try and go for the farm down. In comes Galarian Stunfisk, and this is going to be absolutely beautiful. This is going to be GG right here. This is exactly what Diggersby's for. We might actually, yeah, the opponent goes for a Rock Slide, so it's going to overfarm to the Earthquake. Try to leave with a move. Rock Slide is not good enough, and we can just farm all the way down. We have an Earthquake ready for the Medicham, and this is going to be GG right here. Diggersby is just such a thick boy that, like, even those counters from Medicham, they cannot farm it down that easily, and this is a level 40. If you have a level 45 to 50, like, you're just going to be eating counters all day long. So that's what I really like about Diggersby. I'm really looking forward. I've got it buddied up at the moment, trying to get those XL candies. I evolved an absolute ton of them. So I'm up to about, I think I'm up to about 170 or 180. I just need to walk it for a decent while. It's only 1 kilometer, or of course 500 meters on the Puffin. So I'm definitely going to walk that quite soon and make a good one. Again, whenever I started Pokemon Go again, it was level 30 and you could not get XL, so I've got so many bad Pokemon here. And of course it wasn't into PvP at the time. So I'm basically just rebuilding my account. And yep, going for the back-to-back Psycho Boost. You basically land 1 Thunderbolt and go for back-to-back Psycho Boost. At this point I'm going to bank a Psycho Boost. I knew the Umbreon would come in here. And we're going to go ahead and just fire off Drill Runs here on the opponent. So this is going to be good. We're going to get this thing very low at the very least. And you know, we do have a Psycho Boost banked, which can come in very, very handy later on potentially. They can throw off these Foul Plays. I believe we get to the moves at about the same time. Umbreon does straight up win this match, but we can get this very, very low. And we're just, again, just kind of hoping Diggersby can, you know, take it all in the back. Umbreon is just such a thick boy. He's the thickest boy of them all, isn't he? Like, Diggersby is thick, but Umbreon is the thickest boy of them all. Actually, you guys can let me know, is he the thickest boy of them all? We actually do go for a shield here as well. We want to try and get this into, like, farm down range for Diggersby, potentially. Do we get off another move? Okay, so I bank the move and swap out. In comes the Abomasnow. I do not fall for CMP, and this will be an Ice Weather Ball. Even the level 40 can't eat, like, it can only really eat 1 of them, to be fair, but you can eat a move. The opponent cannot comfortably eat a move here, so what we're basically trying to do is shield up here, and we will just outpace, I think, to these moves, get off the fire punches here, and just basically get the opponent's last shield. That's all we're trying to do here. The switch timer is coming up here quite shortly. I think the opponent, was I ahead by 1 or did the opponent overfarm there? I think the opponent messed up nonetheless there. We're going to come in, go for the Psycho Boost Snipe. Unfortunately, this is going to lower us, but I believe we have a move on the Dunsparce. I maybe could have committed to the Thunderbolt right there. I just wanted to get this move off anyway. Not that it really makes a difference. I was thinking maybe with counters I could take it out. We're going to come in with Diggersby, just to absolutely make sure I force the opponent to throw energy. And we're going to come in with Dunsparce and fire for the Drill Run. I should have just came in with the Drill Run, but GG's to the opponent nonetheless. And it comes right down to the timer there, so very, very good game. And, you know, like I said, I really like the consistency of this team. It just, you know, the synergy worked really well with it. I went 3-2 here. I definitely could have won more of the matches for sure. I think it just comes down to not having XLs. And, you know, sometimes, you know, that core breaker can be a little bit rough. I think with Jellicent, you maybe do just want to swap straight out. My thinking was to try and obviously get the move off first. In comes Dragonair. So this is a little bit awkward for pretty much any team that doesn't resist Dragon Breaths. I'm going to farm up to the Thunderbolt here, or the back-to-back boosts, and we'll most likely fire both of these off. The opponent's had a move here, and we're just going to fire them both straight off here, try to get a shield off the opponent or put a good chip into it. So this team, it's basically designed to win switch. I'm just basically going to come in here and, you know, go mad with these drill runs. I think it would take about maybe 3 drill runs to take this thing out, maybe 4. I didn't throw after good timing here, which is a bit silly. We're going to fire off another one. Yeah, so maybe just about 3 would take it out. Do I decide to shield here? I decided to let this go. Can I get to another move? So again, my XL, my Dunsparce is not XL. Yeah, and I forced the opponent to dump energy on the Deoxys here as well, which is nice. That does not quite take out. Can we get off the move? We do. So we're taking this out and taking switch. The opponent here, they'll probably come in and farm us down, but I'm not going to let that happen. We're going to come in Diggersby with 2 shields against the world, and it is Big Boy Basti. Big Boy Basti. This Dragonair's got a ton of energy here, so we just need to get rid of this thing ASAP. We're going to Earthquake this, not messing about. So they've got the back-to-back moves. Bastiodon can do absolutely, like, when I say nothing, like, Bastiodon literally adds health to Diggersby at this point. Come on in, big boy, come in. Come on, throw off the Stone Edge and see how little it does, and then top left. Guys, I absolutely cannot stand these Bastiodons, bro. We're over farming here as well. 1 Earthquake will take out. I'm not sure if like a fully XL Diggersby would take it out with 1 Earthquake, but I'm assuming it would. I do take it out there, no problem. And again, this is what Diggersby's here for. We have 2 answers to Bastiodon in the back, so if you did get the Bastiodon lead, you would come into your Dunsparce and, you know, you'd have your Diggersby in the back to try to deal with that. We will get some pretty RPS teams, and we're getting Umbreon leads here like crazy. So we're just going to stay in here. I think I try to catch a foul play here on the Boyo. We do catch it on the Boyo, and it's only going to do a little chip to us. That's perfect. We're getting a little bit of energy. In comes their own defense Deoxys, bro. Seeing such weird teams here now. With this team, you're going to draw out some funny teams, but I don't mind this at all. This is absolutely fine. It allows us to come back in with our defense Deoxys with an energy advantage. We did get off another drill run, which is beautiful. I think this just about puts them into Thunderbolt range, because this boy is absolutely thick. We're going to go straight for this move. Hopefully not let them get off a Thunderbolt of their own. I think this won't quite take out, yeah, so this boy is thick. Like, he's a chunky boy. But at the very least here, we're going to try and farm down, and we're basically going to do the same thing with Umbreon. I'm going to try and catch the next move. We do catch another move here, so we're just kind of dancing around this Umbreon a little bit. This really is like our best answer to it. And in comes Altaria, and guys, this, unfortunately, this is just the top left. I fire off my Fire Punch, and you do go Earthquake on this, by the way, but I just knew this was over because they've got 2 shields. You do go Earthquake on this, but they just farm me down so quickly. Absolutely nothing I can do against that Pokemon. So we just got pretty hard countered there, unfortunately. We had a counter user in the back, we had an Altaria in the back. There wasn't really much winning that game. Unless you, for some reason, like safe swap into Diggersby and somehow get Dunsparce onto it, and then it's just, yeah, it doesn't really work with this team configuration. Medicham, we're going to go on ahead and eat the Ice Punch, and we're going to fire off the Thunderbolt. We'll just build up to as much energy as possible here. Fire off the Thunderbolt, hopefully they let it go. If they do start shielding it, it does get awkward. Now at this point, all we have to do is build up to the back-to-back. If they shield the first one, the second one usually should take them out. The opponent might get off another Ice Punch right here. We do get off the first Psycho Boost first. And is a CMP here on the second one? Okay, they let it go, which is nice. In comes Talonflame. Now I go for a bait here, thinking the opponent will shield up a Thunderbolt. The opponent does not. Absolute psychopath. This is absolutely fine though. We'll go for one right now. And at this point, this is just beautiful. We win switch. We've got Dunsparce in the back, and they're actually in rollout range. Now I'm expecting the opponent, they blind through here. I'm expecting the Flame Charge. Now the next one, I'm not expecting a Flame Charge. This has to be the bird. There's no reason not to throw it at this point. And like I don't get it. Like what? All right, bro. We actually keep the energy because as you guys are about to see, the opponent will reach the Focus Blast first. That makes no difference whatsoever. Diggersby can eat Focus Blasts, especially the XL. And I make a bit of a mistake here. I go for the bait. The opponents, like, guys, in these situations, don't be it. Like, whenever they've got 2 Pokemon left, they never, like, let that go. Or, you know, or they never shield that, sorry. We're going to go for bait the second time because we're kind of committed to baiting. And all we really need to do is either take out the Registeel or get the opponent's last shield. We go on ahead and go for the Earthquake. And at this point, this is looking very straightforward. We just come in with Dunsparce and roll out this bad boy down. They cannot get to another move in time. They dumped a Brave Bird and... Or sorry, they dumped 2 Flame Charges. So they would need like another 1 or 2 Incinerates to get to anything threatening there. So GG's anyway, like, but I should have just gone ahead and... Like, if I was going to do that, maybe I could have thrown the Drill Run into it, but I just wanted to keep the energy. Noctowl lead is pretty... It's okay-ish for Deoxys. I think what I might try to do here is eat a Shadow Ball on the Dunsparce, which could work out quite nicely here. I think I would prefer eating the Shadow Ball on the Diggersby right there. But again, like, I do want to keep Diggersby in a closing position, because the opponent is forced to swap out there. They can just wreck my Diggersby with Noctowl. So I think this was my only sort of catch opportunity. We're going to get off some nice damage on this thing, and Defense Deoxys has a lot of work to do here. We're going to fire off this Drill Run. The opponent is getting really low, so this is looking pretty nice at this point. I think I come in with DD here, and maybe try to get a little bit of energy on this thing. Yeah, so Psychic, the boosted Psychic does a decent amount of damage, and the opponent should let this go, so we're just going to fire off the Thunderbolt here. Now we're a little bit ahead on energy on the Noctowl, so it's looking a little bit better, and we're just going to farm up to the Thunderbolt, and we actually CMP the opponent, which is kind of unfortunate. I should have just thrown it straight away. I was counting it, and I was thinking they would farm up to the Shadow Ball, but we are just about in Sky Attack range, so it kind of makes sense. Now I need to stay in here. I'm going to go for a Psycho Boost right here, just to try and get this thing low. I'm just really hoping for a Steel type in the back, and yeah, at this point I'm happy for the Noctowl to dump its energy. What I might even do here is go for another Psycho Boost, try to chip it down, and put it in a range where Diggersby can deal with it. So Diggersby can deal with this thing, and in comes a Lantern, so this is perfect. Now all we have to do here is just build up to 100 energy. We can eat a Surf here, which is nice, and we're going to fire off the Earthquake. Now the question is, will this actually take out the Lantern? It just about doesn't. This next Surf is not threatening, but it is going to start getting us low, and these Sparks are resisted, so we're still in a very good position here, and we're actually going to have an Earthquake coming out for the Noctowl. The opponent throws off the move, and this is getting super close. I was hoping the opponent would try to go for the overfarm, but of course they realize an Earthquake will take out. Can we reach the Psycho Boost? We reach it 1, I think it was 1 before the Sky Attack right there. We would have lost CMP there, of course. 1 HP in a Dream, Defense Deoxys closes the game strong. And, you know, that was just generally like, you know, I've got Diggersby as the featured Pokemon, but this team, it just worked well as a unit. You know, so it's you know, I feel bad. Sorry, Deoxys, you're doing a lot of work here in the front, but I'm giving all the credit to Diggersby here, in the thumbnail and title, but that's just how it goes. This is a Hypno, it can no Shadow Ball, which I was a little bit scared of, so I think I try to go for a catch here. I do catch something, and I'm hoping it is a Shadow Ball. That would be amazing. It's a Thunder Punch, so it's like, alright, that's fine even. In comes Scrafty, and I'm like, right, this is not fine, but here's the thing. If the opponent goes for the full farm down, they're in trouble. So, you know, here's one thing that I made a mistake of here. I was just so focused on getting these moves off that to be fair, I was not counting the Scrafty's energy here. I know that they're getting like 100 energy here basically, and I come back in with Deoxys. Now, I know that they're probably going to start firing off like Power Punches and Foul Plays. I decide, right, they're going to go Power Punch, Foul Play. I let the first one go, and I thought they would have been up to the back-to-back, because they just farmed me completely down. Maybe this could have only been a Power Punch, and maybe that was just a bad shield. We're down on shields, and we just have to pray and hope. We're going to go for the Thunderbolt on this thing, and just hope that the opponent maybe lets it go. They do let it go, and for this point, I am basically happy for them just to take out my Deoxys, and yeah, I'll try to save the shield for Diggersby. We're going to go for the farm down here. The opponent comes in with Bastion, and ladies and gents, this match is over. This match is just absolutely over. This thing could have 4 shields, and it still would not take out Diggersby. Would it though? It might. It just about might. But it's a very, very dominant and one-sided matchup here. So I'm not even going to bait. Like, I can just go straight for EQ. I don't have to mess around here whatsoever. I just need to save my shield just in case the Hypno gets to a move. The opponent lets it go, and we'll farm down the Hypno, and that's going to be a good game. So again, like those Bastiodons that are lurking in the back, they are absolutely no match for Diggersby, and that's what I absolutely love about this Pokemon. If you line it up against Galarian Sunfisk or Bastiodon, you can eat, I think an XL can probably eat 2 Earthquakes, which is amazing. So you can basically Earthquake and come out with an Earthquake if you want to. In comes Nidoqueen here, so they farm up to the Earth Power. Now, I'm happy enough to let this go even if it is the Earth Power, and I'm just going to fire off a Psycho Boost just to get a shield off the opponent. Now, of course, I've got 2 answers in the back, so I want to get a shield off the opponent and come in straight to Diggersby. Now, the reason I come straight into Diggersby is because I don't want to come into Dunsparce and get it wrecked in case they have a flyer in the back. I'm over-farming here and over-farming, and I'm just going to fire off the Earthquake. So that's what I decided to do. The opponent lets it go, and in comes the Dugong. We're going to go ahead and go for an Earthquake, and this is going to put a nice little chip into it. The opponent might try to farm down, but can they get away with it? Okay, I think I was just about to die to that Ice Shard. Let's see if I get another move for here. Yeah, so I had to for the Fire Punch. I was hoping they weren't counting there, unfortunately. Unfortunately, they were. I'm going to come in with Dunsparce and go for a farm down with a rollout, which is going to be quite hilarious. Eat these Icy Winds, and just keep the Deoxys, just in case we need it. So we're getting energy on this thing, and loaded energy in Dunsparce can be a real problem. I don't want to eat another Icy Wind, so I'm just going to try and get rid of this thing. Super effective damage, we're going to clear the debuff, and in comes a Buzzwole. Now, this is going to be interesting. Will the opponent go for the power-up punch bait, or will they go for the lunge? I'm thinking they're going to go for the lunge just to go for the debuff, but they are going for the power-up punch. We're going to fire off another Psycho Boost, and this would do an awful lot of damage to this thing, as it does. The opponent, they're going to go ahead and fire probably another power-up punch. At this point, I can just shield it up. We're already at the move, and this is going to be GG right here. It's a very spicy team by the opponent there. I haven't seen Buzzwole, Dugong, like, that's definitely a very original team by the opponent. So GG's there. Of course, our team. I do miss Nidoqueen. It was such a good Pokemon back in the day, but now that it gets to the moves in 6 instead of 5, a little bit rough. Now, Lantern, you swap straight out. I've made this mistake in practice battles, you swap straight out. I'm surprised the opponent didn't try and catch here, which is interesting. So this might be just a core breaker for their whole team here. So this might convince me to shield this up. I'm just going to call this Surf for the first one. It puts a little bit of a chip into us, and they do finally catch on an Azumarill here. I see the bubble going through. So it is an Azu, and this does not do that much damage. The opponent must have a pretty highly ranked Azu, and we're going to fire off another Drill Run in this thing. We're just going to try and get as much damage off on this thing as possible, and the opponent's clock is misaligned. So what I decided to do here is come in and basically go for Thunderbolt with Deoxys. The opponent stayed in there for a little bit too long, and that allows us to swap out. Now we're going to have to get another player off here, but this is absolutely fine. We're going to go for the Thunderbolt straight away, try to get this Azu out of here. The opponent's either going to get rid of their Azu, or go down 2 shields. And again, I'm just thinking that Dunsparce might be strong against something in here, especially because they stayed in with Lantern for so long. I'm happy to let DD go at this point. We've taken out the Azu, so it's looking like some sort of ABA water team here. I wasn't really quite sure what the opponent was running, so I come in with Diggersby at this point. We're just going in to farm this thing up, and in comes Galarian Stunfisk. Again, ladies and gents, you're about to see here. I decided to go for a little bit of an undercharge on this as well, just for the memes and the vibes to get up some extra energy for the Lantern. The opponent can fire off an Earthquake, but they go for the Rock Slide bait. Big mistake, pal, because Earthquake would not even get us into a threatening range. So GG's to the opponent there. You just don't beat Diggersby with Rock Slide, you just go for the Earthquake. Overall, I went really positive with this team, and it is a really strong anti-meta team. I do highly recommend it. The things I would recommend, though, is to make sure that your Diggersby is XL, because that will make a huge difference. And in the final set, I went... So I'll be completely honest about the numbers here. I went 9 out of 15, which is really good. I think I could have won 11 or 12 out of 15 had it been XL, so I think that's definitely worth taking into consideration. Guys, thank you very much for watching, thank you for all the support on these videos. This Dragonite match is rough, so this is one match that I do end up losing here. I do decide to stay in, and I maybe should swap out, but again, if I swap out into my Dunsparce, it's kind of rough. If I don't have an answer for it. They've almost got us taken out here, so this is looking pretty bad here. But GG's guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, subscribe, and definitely try out this team if you do have these Pokemon available. Again, even Dunsparce will be a little bit better if it has the XL candies. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for a brand new video.